What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another adventure here at the Outpost. Today we're up in the dojo and we are going through the epic haul of movies that I have amassed through the month of May. Bleh, there was a shitload of movies that came out in the month of May that I picked up, and we're going to go through every one of them. There's a lot to go through, so let's just dive right in. Quickly though, before we do dive in, you know the deal. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. Like that video because it helps with the algorithm, and let's party on. First purchase that we picked up month of May, 21 Bridges. Got this at Best Buy for like $5. Had to pick it up, didn't have it, and I do want to collect all my Chadwick Boseman movies, so that one had to be purchased. Next on the list, 30 Days of Night. This is an upgrade from a DVD that basically I just transferred over. This cost me $0. Another movie that cost me $0 from an upgrade is the 40-year-old version, unrated version. Continuing my Chadwick Boseman purchases, this is another upgrade. I had this movie previously as a DVD, upgraded it to a Blu-ray, had a pretty awesome slipcover with it, so that was a pretty dope purchase. My first actual purchase, even though it was an upgrade, still had to pay for this one, but that's because it was a 4K, and we're talking the 4K of 300. I watched this the other night, pretty awesome in 4K, not gonna lie. It looked really freaking good. I'm not a huge fan of this movie. I was when I first saw it as a kid, but as I've gotten older and my tastes have refined, I have realized that this movie is a lot of style, not so much substance, but that's not such a bad thing. There were a lot of decent parts in that movie. Faramir from Lord of the Rings is in it. He had some pretty sweet moments. Young Michael Fassbender is in it, which I had no idea, so it was worth rewatching just to see young Michael Fassbender. But yeah, moving along. I got the prequel/sequel to 300 Rise of an Empire. This I found at Dollar General for $1, so I got it just to round out the collection because I remember not liking this movie when I first saw it. The only thing I actually did care about as a horny teenager when this came out was Ava Green's boobage. So I guess worth a rewatch to see how those stack up. Next purchase was the 4K of Alien. This I have yet to watch in 4K. I definitely do want to check it out one of these nights because Alien is one of my favorite movies, so I think this would look freaking awesome in 4K. So definitely going to check that out soon. Another purchase, this one was really cheap though, at Best Buy. I had a sweet deal for it that I got, is Alita Battle Angel. This movie I saw in theaters was pretty okay. One of my friends absolutely loves this movie, and he's still campaigning for a sequel. So I did my due diligence to pick this up just so hopefully they will rack up some more money and be like, we should make this movie for TJ's buddy. So hopefully it's coming one day. Another sweet pickup, the first steelbook in this joint thing is National Lampoon's Animal House. I've yet to watch this. I do have to get to it at some point. It's got all this sweet thing. I haven't seen this movie in so long. I used to watch this religiously as I was a kid. I feel like, though, as an adult, it might not be as funny as I once thought it was. Like, when you're a kid, I feel like this type of humor is right up your alley, and then as you get older, you kind of grow out of that type of humor, but I still definitely want to watch it again because I did used to love watching that movie with my dad, so definitely want to check it out. Another cheap pickup that I haven't watched yet, but I do want to watch is Antebellum. Looks like a pretty sweet horror/thriller movie. Definitely want to check this out. I've heard some really good things from people and then some not good things from other people, but we won't know until I watch it for myself. Another upgrade, but this one did cost me money as well because anytime I upgrade to a 4K, obviously it's going to cost you some money because I doubt you're going to find a good 4K anywhere for cheap, is Apollo 13. This is freaking an incredible movie. Great Ron Howard movie, great Tom Hanks movie. Have yet to watch it in 4K, but I'm going to very shortly, and it's probably going to be immaculate. Another upgrade from a DVD, cost me nothing. The Astronaut's Wife, Johnny Depp, Charlize Theron. This movie is a really... I don't really know how to describe it. It's okay. It's a good thriller. It's not great. It's early Johnny Depp and Charlize Theron, but like you could see like how they would go on to do great things because they put in stellar performances even when they're in stuff like The Astronaut's Wife. So another upgrade was the only Avengers movie that I didn't have on Blu-ray or 4K, and that was the first Avengers. So I picked that up on 4K, so I got that to watch. This is one of my favorite of the Marvel movies. I'm not the biggest Marvel fan. I like the movies. I love the universe. I think what they do with it is very spectacular and very insanely well done. I just, the movies are very hit or miss for me. And then finally, in this last first pile, we have the Back to the Future Steelbook 4K trilogy that has all three movies in Steelbook format that makes the DeLorean when you hold them all out. I've watched all three of these in 4K already because Back to the Future is one of my favorite franchises, and it looks incredible. I'm so glad I picked this up. It's so good. If you love Back to the Future and you have a 4K player or 4K TV, pick that up. On to the next pile. We've got Upgrade. Didn't cost me nothing, thank God. But the criminally underrated Battleship. This is a very fun movie. It might be dumb as shit, but that doesn't matter. Go watch this movie. It is fun as shit as well. There's a bird singing outside my window. Another upgrade that I got before I realized there was a 4K version out, so I might have to rebuy the 4K and then sell this one, and that is Beetlejuice. I've yet to watch this, so I don't know how it would stack up between Blu-ray or 4K, but apparently the 4K looks really awesome. So I think one of these days, once my wallet builds back up after all these purchases, I might pick up the 4K Beetlejuice, because that is a great movie. 4K that I did pick up, however, is the first Beverly Hills Cop. Love this movie. I really hope that they do the other two soon so that I can have the whole collection, because I still have 2 and 3 as regular DVDs, and I don't really want to upgrade those to Blu-ray just yet, just in case they do drop the rest of this trilogy. So we're going to hold out hope that that's coming soon. Another 4K upgrade, movie I haven't seen in a long time, but I really, really liked it the first time I saw it, so definitely want to give it a watch, especially now in 4K, is Big Fish. This is one of my favorite Ewan McGregor movies, probably one of my favorite Tim Burton movies as well. This is a really good, whimsical romance movie. Oh, another Steelbook coming up in the shot here, and that is Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. I've actually never seen The Birds. I owned it on regular DVD and then bought the 4K now when it came out, and this is one of the few Alfred Hitchcock movies that I've yet to get to. But now that I've got this 4K on it, I can see myself getting to it pretty soon. Keeping the 4K party going is Blade. I haven't watched Blade in a long time either. I was never the biggest Blade fans. I did love Blade 2. I couldn't tell you shit about Blade Trinity. And this one was cool too. So I'm definitely excited to give this a rewatch now that I have it on 4K, because Wesley Snipes, I'm an unabashed Wesley Snipes fan. I would love to see a lot more of his older action movies show up on 4K, like Passenger 57 and all the other ones he's done. Drop Zone? Yeah, Drop Zone. That one. That is a silly ass movie. That should definitely be seen. Another upgrade is Blended. This is Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore movie, their third outing after The Wedding Singer and 50 First Dates. This movie is really silly. It's very stupid, but it's one of the few post-2000 Adam Sandler movies that I think is funny, so I definitely had to pick that one up and enjoy it. The first of the Steelbooks that I'm trying to collect to complete my Pixar collection is Disney's Brave. I was never the biggest Brave fan, but this Steelbook does look really awesome, and I do want to collect all. They have pretty much every Pixar movie except for like 1 or 2 in Steelbook, so I want to try and pick up as many of those as I can, because I really like Steelbooks, and I really think that's a cool collection to complete if I'm going to complete any of them. Another upgrade was Bridge of Spies. This is probably one of the better Steven Spielberg movies that come out in like the last 5 to 10 years. Tom Hanks as well. Can never go wrong with Tom Hanks. This one isn't an upgrade, but I saw it there for like $2. So I picked it up. It's Brothers with Jake Gyllenhaal, Tobey Maguire and Natalie Portman. Powerhouse trio right there, and I've heard this movie is really good, and I never got around to see it, so I definitely will give it a chance now. Love all three of those stars, so it'll be cool to finally check that one out. Another steelbook for the Pixar collection. This is probably my least favorite Pixar movie, but still had to pick it up in steelbook form, is Cars 2. This movie I watched once and was not a fan at all, but I'm a completionist, so I had to complete the set because I do like the first one. And the third one is actually my favorite one, so I had to at least just have two in the collection to go with the other ones. Another steelbook that just came out a week or two ago that I had to pick up is Chaos Walking. This was a pretty solid movie. This came out like the perfect time because it's right when like you wanted bigger budget movies to be coming out again in theaters, and you weren't gonna get like the top tier blockbusters, but like they were putting out movies like this. So you sit there watching it and you enjoy it, but you don't know, did I like it because I was just so desperate for another movie again in COVID times, or was it actually that good? The age-old question. But I like this movie. It was fun. It was fun. Another upgrade is a movie that probably most people have never heard of. It's called City Heat. It's with Clint Eastwood and Burt Reynolds. It's a silly movie where they're detectives in 1933, and they just get up to like hijinks. It's silly, but it's fun. It's a solid movie. That I had to pick that up because I want to own every Clint Eastwood movie as well because I'm a huge Clint Eastwood fan. He's probably one of my favorite actors, so had to pick that up. Up next is the original Clash of the Titans. I love this movie. I used to watch this movie as a kid all the time. It's so good. I love the old school effects that this movie uses. They're horribly outdated today, but I still get a kick out of them every time I watch them. This movie is such an awesome fantasy sword and sandal type movie to watch, so you should definitely check this out. Not nearly as good, but still all right, is our next steelbook, the remake of Clash of the Titans. This I just found at a Dollar General for $1.50. Steelbook for $1.50. I was like, yeah, obviously I'm gonna get this movie. I like Wrath of the Titans better of these remakes. That one's a lot more sillier, and the fact that they're not encumbered by having to follow the original made it a lot easier to stomach. This one as a remake, wasn't that big a fan of. I'd much rather watch the original with its shittier special effects, but it had a hell of a lot more heart. Up next is another upgrade, is Clear and Present Danger. This is a great movie. I love Jack Ryan movies. I love Harrison Ford as Jack Ryan, so this was an absolute easy win for a pickup. That's a great one too. That one's got Willem Dafoe in it also. It's really all. If you like Jack Ryan, especially if you watch the one on Amazon that John Krasinski's in, you should definitely check out the other Jack Ryan movies that have been out because that one and Patriot Games are really awesome Harrison Ford ones. Our last 4K in this pile is the Cold Pursuit. This is a dark black comedy Liam Neeson movie. One of the better ones that he's put out in his acting action hero renaissance. This movie has some really dark and funny bits in it. It's really good. You should check it out. A lot of fun. We got another 4K to start off the party. This is a phenomenal action thriller, one of Tom Cruise's bests, and that is Collateral. I love this movie. This is probably the last good Michael Mann movie also. He's kind of been very hit or miss since then with movies like Miami Vice and Black Hat, but a few others. But this was probably like his best, one of his bests of all time. I think this was like 2006. Yeah, it's just such a good movie. One of the few times Tom Cruise has played a despicable person, and he does it fucking perfectly. Another steelbook is the hilarious Coming to America. This is one of my favorite Eddie Murphy movies. Actually, now that I think about it, it's probably my favorite Eddie Murphy movie. This movie is hilarious. I could watch it. It's one of those movies that you could have on and die laughing, and then the second it's over, you could start it again from the beginning and laugh just as hard as you did the first time. Not many movies can do that. Coming to America is one of the few. The sequel coming to America, couldn't even touch that. Could not come close to it. Another upgrade movie that I love, movie that is very timely right now, is Contagion. I saw this movie a few years ago, like a few years before COVID, and this movie scared the crap out of me because it was so insane by how realistic it could be that like something like this could happen. And then when COVID started, it was kind of insane just how well they predicted it. Like this, most things are different and all that, but like it's very, very, very close. Really, really good thriller that you should definitely watch. It's a movie I actually watched right as quarantine started, just for like shits and giggles, and was like, I probably shouldn't watch that. It probably wasn't like a smart move. This movie did not have, but I picked it up because it was only $2.99, and that is a Mark Wahlberg classic, Contraband. Actually, I don't know if it's a Mark Wahlberg classic because I've never seen it, but it's a Mark Wahlberg action movie, so it probably is dumb as fuck, but enjoyable as well. So definitely going to check this one out at some point. It's got Giovanni Ribisi and Ben Foster in it, who are awesome supporting characters, so at least I know it will be entertaining because they always bring the heat. Another 4K pickup, Creed. This is a great movie. Love the Rocky franchise. Love this franchise as well. It's hard to decide which ones I like more because I love Michael B. Jordan and I love Tessa Thompson. So to see both of them in a movie together, a movie as good as this, might just beat out all of the Rocky movies for me. Next up is the awesome trilogy that I got on 4K. It is the Dark Knight trilogy. I love 2 out of the 3 of these movies. I don't hate The Dark Knight Rises. It's when I first saw it in theaters, I was not a fan of it at all. But now that we're years removed from like the epicness of The Dark Knight and then watching this one, it's not nearly as bad as I thought it was. It's still not great. There's still like a lot of glaring plot issues that I can't get past in it. But it's definitely not as bad of a movie as I hyped it up to be when I first saw it. Dark Knight obviously is fucking perfect. That movie is so good. And I love Batman Begins too. I think it's a really good origin story for Batman. So I love that trilogy. It's really amazing. Another 4K upgrade is the first Die Hard. Freaking love this movie. One of the best action movies of all time. Same deal. The rest of the Die Hards I have on DVD. I really hope that they put the rest of them on 4K. So I could pick those up soon because the same deal as with the other ones. I don't want to upgrade those Die Hards to Blu-ray and then like they announce the 4K right after it and it's like, oh, okay, now I just have to waste more money. So I hope they announce that soon. Another great steelbook that I picked up, which was also an upgrade, is the criminally underrated movie that I still wish we would get a sequel, Dredd. This movie is freaking awesome. Written by Alex Garland, who does so much awesome shit in sci-fi, like Annihilation, 28 Days Later, Ex Machina. Is a phenomenal writer, and he knocks it out of the park with Dredd. This movie is so good. Just look at this steelbook. This steelbook is sick. Looks so good. It also looks great on 4K. So you should see Dredd if you haven't seen Dredd. New one that I picked up that actually I'd never seen before, never even heard of, but it has a young River Phoenix and a young Ethan Hawke. It's this movie called Explorers, which I am excited to check out because I've heard nothing but good things. And it's a sci-fi movie about a bunch of kids that build a spaceship and launch themselves into an interplanetary journey. So that sounds awesome in my book. Sign me up. I'm ready. Ooh, another steelbook hits the fray. 20th anniversary edition of The Fast and the Furious. This is a really awesome steelbook, so I'm glad I picked this one up. I wonder if they're going to release any other ones in steelbook, which would be cool. I don't think they will, or at least not anytime soon, because they probably also get anniversary editions. So I, at some point, have to pick up the whole collection series on 4K as well, because that's the only one I do have. First, honestly, this might be the first new pickup from actual new movies this year is The Father. This phenomenal movie. Can't say enough good things about this movie. Anthony Hopkins absolutely deserved the Academy Award for this movie. It is freaking so incredible that a guy could be at his age and still be such a powerhouse performer. Everyone should see that movie. It is really good. And last in our third pile is another upgrade, one of my favorite Denzel Washington movies, Flight. Really great movie that you should check out. Pile number 4. Another upgrade to start off the powerhouse is Gangster Squad. I haven't seen this movie since I saw it in theaters, but I remember liking it in theaters. It wasn't amazing, but I remember thinking it was a pretty solid gangster movie. So I definitely want to check this one out again because it's got a stacked cast. So it's got to have something good about it. And another pickup, this one was really cheap, which is why I picked it up to have it in the collection. Wasn't the biggest fan of the movie when I saw it in theaters, but it did have some hilarious parts. Even though it's not supposed to be hilarious, it's an action movie. Gemini Man. It cracked me up at the end of this movie when it was old Will Smith versus young Will Smith, and then a third, even younger Will Smith showed up to the fight. That was the funniest shit I've ever seen in the movie. So it was probably unintentional, but so I picked it up just for the one day that I want that shit and giggle again. I'll check that out. Another upgrade from a DVD that I got for Heather as well as myself because I do love this movie, Ghosts of Girlfriends Past. This is a really funny romantic comedy. It's a fun take on A Christmas Carol. So if you are a fan of either of those things, you should check that movie out. Another epic 4K upgrade is the amazing Gladiator. This is one of my favorite movies ever. Father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife. I will have my vengeance in this life or the next. Just a fucking killer movie. I love movies that have really great dialogue and quotable dialogue that you can quote afterwards, and this has got some great lines in it. So definitely check out Gladiator. If you haven't seen Gladiator, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. I can't help you at this point. Another upgrade. Actually, no, this wasn't an upgrade. I actually bought this movie. Bought it just to round out the collection. I wasn't even really a big fan of this movie when it came out, but I got it for cheap. Godzilla, King of Monsters. I think I got this movie for like $5. It's all right. The action scenes are really cool. Everything else is fucking nonsense, and I hate it. I do love Vera Farmiga though, so got it just for that. Just for my girl Vera. This is a movie that I picked up. It was $1 at the Dollar General. Never seen it, but it has Reese Witherspoon and Corey Stoll in it, so I figure give it a shot at some point. It is The Good Lie. I know absolutely nothing about this movie, so we'll see what happens if the day comes that I eventually watch it. Probably watch it with Heather because she loves Reese Witherspoon. Another 4K upgrade is the amazing adventure movie, The Goonies. This is great. I watched this the other day for the first time. I haven't seen The Goonies in so long. I used to watch it all the time as a kid. So it was really good to watch this movie again because it is silly as shit. It is so much fun. It is a movie that you should absolutely own in your collection if you do collecting, and you should watch this movie if you haven't even seen that movie, because if you haven't seen The Goonies, what are you doing with your life? Another Steelbook, which was also an upgrade, is Grease. Grease Lightning, go Grease Lightning. I haven't seen this movie in forever, so I'm probably going to have to rewatch this again, especially because of how hilarious it is that they want me to believe that anybody in this movie is in high school. But gonna watch that again soon. Sweet, also another Dollar General pickup, is this like really cool, I don't even know what you call this thing, but it is The Green Mile. This movie is an incredible movie. Another great Tom Hanks movie, an amazing Michael Clarke Duncan movie. Such a good cast in this movie. It's probably one of my favorite Stephen King adaptations. It is a super sad movie, and I dare you to watch it without crying at the end. Another pickup, just to round out the collection, because I don't even like this movie, but I got it for like $2, The Hangover Part 2. I really do not like this series, but I own it because, you can't have the best collection in the world if you don't own as much as possible. Another 4K upgrade, got this for my girlfriend, mostly because I am not the biggest fan of them. I mean, I do like some of them, but for the most part, it is mostly for her, and that is the Harry Potter 8 film set. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the first two because they're like way too kiddie. Prisoner of Azkaban is cool. Goblet of Fire is good. Order of the Phoenix I wasn't the biggest fan of because they chop out like so much of the book. Half-Blood Prince is all right, and then the Two Deathly Hallows are cool. The part two is awesome. That whole battle at Hogwarts is pretty dope. I can't even lie. Hearts War, Bruce Willis, Colin Farrell. Never actually watched it, but it's a war movie, so I had to pick it up because I do love war movies. So gotta watch that at some point. Another movie that I haven't seen that I picked up because it was $1.99 is an Easter classic, and it is Hop. Looks like a cute little kids movie. I'll get around to it at some point. Does have my man James Marsden in it, so I'll definitely pick it up and watch it at some point. It's got Hank Azaria as well, Kaylee Cuoco, Russell Brand. Russell Brand probably plays the rabbit, doesn't he? That would make sense. Another buy that I watched a few weeks ago. This was probably I think this was one of the last movies to come out before COVID hit. That is The Hunt. It's an alright movie. It cracks me up when movies like this come out that like drives people up a wall and like they had to delay the movie because, politicians were going nuts about it. And then you finally see it and you're like, that's what the fuss was about. It's fine. It's fun. It's an entertaining like thriller movie. I just like the social satire that they try to do with like the left versus right. Like some of it hits, but not all of it hits. It's very over the top at times. It just kind of beats you over the head with it. Like by the middle of the movie, that you're just like, all right, just shut the fuck up and get on with it. Gerard Butler classic right here, Hunter Killer. I've yet to watch this, but I do want to watch it because I love Gerard Butler. I don't care what anybody says. That man is the B-movie king. I will watch any movie he puts out. So definitely going to watch this sometime soon. And the last one in pile number 4 is another Steelbook upgrade, and that is The Incredible Hulk. This is the Edward Norton one, not the Ang Lee one. I've watched this a few times. Not the biggest fan of it. One of my lesser favorites of the MCU. But it was only $10, and it was a 4K. So I figured, why the hell not? Let's do it. Starts off with an upgrade. Inside Man. This is I didn't move those. Let's move that over. Inside Man. Good Spike Lee movie. Good Denzel Washington movie. Clive Owen. Jodie Foster. Can't go wrong. It's a good action movie. Saw it in theaters with my friends. It was a good time. Continuing the Pixar party. Inside Out on Steelbook. This is my favorite Pixar movie, probably. It's Bing Bong on the back, my man. This movie is so good. Love this Steelbook, too, so I was really happy to pick that up. Now we have a collection that I picked up off of Amazon at the beginning of the month. Only got to watch the first one so far, but I definitely want to watch the rest because they look pretty awesome, and I'm finally jumping back into horror, and that is the Insidious franchise. So, I got Insidious 1. That was the only one I watched. It was freaking awesome. There's some really scary shit that goes on in that one. I got Chapter 2, which I haven't watched yet, but I really want to, especially the way the first one ended. I got Chapter 3, and then, of course, The Last Key. So I definitely want to get around to watching the rest of those. James Wan and Leigh Whannell, man, what a horror team. They made some really great movies. 4K edition, Interstellar. I just got this one the other day because I saw it in Best Buy and it was there for like $11. So I was like, I gotta get this one. I watched this once in theaters. I definitely gotta watch it again, especially now that I see so many people keep calling this Christopher Nolan's best movie. And I never thought it was his best one, but definitely need to give it a rewatch. Next up, we got another awesome Steelbook. This is the first Jack Reacher. This movie is freaking awesome. If you haven't seen it, it has a really insane opening scene too. You should check this out if you like action thrillers because that's a really good one. Ignore the sequel. Sequel's not good. But the first one, top notch. Another really good Steelbook, Jaws. How can you not have Jaws in the collection? Looks so sick. 4K Jaws is absolutely incredible too. You should definitely watch that if you haven't seen Jaws. If you haven't seen Jaws, do you even like movies? Another new movie came out from this year. Won Best Supporting Actor, Judas and the Black Messiah. This is a really awesome movie. Check that one out. Another, probably my favorite steelbook that I have is the first Jumanji. Mostly because look at that, it's just shaped like the actual Jumanji game. And if you open it up, it's got the board game rules in it and everything. It's a really awesome steelbook. Then we have the 5 movie collection of the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World movies. It comes on 4K and on Blu-ray. What can I say about these movies? The first Jurassic Park is amazing. I really like Jurassic World also. Lost World's okay. Jurassic Park 3 is entertaining but silly. And then Fallen Kingdom is pure garbage. Another really good Michael B. Jordan movie, Just Mercy. This is a really good courtroom drama. You should check that one out. Got the collector's edition of the 1970s King Kong with Jeff Bridges. Haven't had a chance to watch this yet, but I'm definitely looking forward to it because I love the other 2 King Kongs. So this should hopefully follow suit. And look, he's fighting a freaking giant snake on there. How could that not be awesome? Pumping away with action movies, we've got another Tom Cruise classic, Night and Day. This is a very fun action comedy with him and Cameron Diaz, directed by one of my favorite new directors, James Mangold. Well, he's not so much new, he's been around for a little while, but like he's finally getting his due. He did Ford v Ferrari, Logan, he's doing the new Indiana Jones. He's an awesome director. Another Upgrade, Knocked Up, great comedy. We got 2 more Upgrades to round it off. I had the third one, but I had to pick up 1 and 2 because I only had them on DVD, and that is Kung Fu Panda and Kung Fu Panda 2. Great movies. And that is number 5, I believe. I don't know. I don't remember. We're starting off with a great steelbook, Last Action Hero. Look at how awesome that freaking steelbook is. That is like such a good poster. It's got Schwarzenegger brandishing some guns in the back. This movie is awesome. One of his best, very underrated. Not a lot of people know about this or cared about this when it came out. It had the unfortunate draw to have to come out a week after Jurassic Park in theaters, so it never stood a chance, which is a shame because it's a really awesome movie, and you should check it out if you haven't seen it. Another Upgrade, Law Abiding Citizen. Got to keep up with the Gerard Butler classics. We got another Upgrade, Letters from Iwo Jima. Really good Clint Eastwood movie. I like this one a lot better than Flags of Our Fathers, which is like these are kind of like pseudo sequels to each other. But I like this one a lot better. Random Buy, never even heard of this movie, but as soon as I saw that it was written by my boys Terry Rossio and Ted Elliott, I knew I had to pick it up. And that is this movie called Little Monsters. It looks really silly. It looks like a perfect 80s type comedy about a kid that befriends the monster who lives under his bed. Definitely want to watch this, especially since it's written by the guys who wrote Pirates of the Caribbean. And anyone who knows me knows how much I love those movies. Another pickup, late to the game, but it was only like $9, is Little Women. Saw this movie in theaters. This is a really good adaptation of Little Women. Of course, it's got my girl in it, Florence, and you got Saoirse, Emma, everybody else, Laura Dern. So it was a good movie. One that I picked up for Heather, didn't have before, but she had been talking about it for us to watch, so I got it for us to watch, and that is The Longest Ride. It's all right. It's about what you would expect from a Nicholas Sparks movie. Definitely not the worst of the ones of his that I've seen. It's fine. It's stomachable, if that's a word. Then probably the greatest pickup in all of pickups is the Lord of the Rings trilogy on 4K. This is the theatrical and extended versions. These are like these movies. What can be said about these movies that hasn't been said all? I can't even think of words. That's how good these movies are. I love these movies. Two Towers is my favorite. Return of the King is probably my least favorite. Yeah, there's just so many endings for that movie, and I was not a fan of the ghost pirates that like roll with him, but Still one of the greatest trilogies of all time. Another blind pickup. This was only like $7. I remember when it came out in theaters, but I didn't check it out. And it is Ma with Octavia Spencer. So I'm definitely going to watch that at some point. Then two more pickups to upgrades. Madagascar 2 and Madagascar 3. I still need to get the first one, but I haven't found that anywhere yet, so that will join it as soon as I find it. Another upgrade, Major League. This is a really good baseball comedy, so if you like sports movies, you like comedies, check it out. Another 4K. I haven't seen this movie yet, but the first one was all right. This one, I don't know. I'm like, I want to watch it, but like I always, whenever I'm looking for a movie, I pass by this one. I'm just like, not today. It's Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. The first one was all right, so I don't know. I'll get to it at some point, but I am not in any rush to do it. A really good movie that was nominated for an Academy Award, The Mauritanian. This was a very good political thriller. Check that one out. Another movie that won Best Supporting Actress, I believe it was, Minari. This is a really good movie. You should check that one out also. Another pickup that was an upgrade, Miracle. This is a great hockey movie. You should watch this movie if you haven't seen it. It's got Kurt Russell. That's all you need to know. This was a pickup that I had seen in theaters, but I had always missed out and never bought it. Money Monster. It's a really good thriller. You should check that one out. Oh yeah, and I'm dropping stuff. And then finally in this pile right here, I picked up the Steelbook 4K of Disney's animated Mulan. It's got Mushu on the back. This is a really good movie. I freaking love Mulan. Don't like the new Mulan, but I love this Mulan. We have got another upgrade. Munich, really good Steven Spielberg movie. You should see this. I saw this in Florida when I went to Disney and Universal, and just one day after leaving the parks, decided to go see a movie. Saw Munich. What a great decision that was. Another upgrade, the first Muppets movie. This movie is amazing. Jason Segel, Where Have You Been? Come back, we need you. We haven't seen you in forever. I think since like Sex Tape, right? Come on, man. Where are you? Come back. We need you. Another upgrade, Murder in the First. It's a really good courtroom drama. It's about the trial that brought down Alcatraz. Really worth seeing. Another upgrade, Mystic River. This is a phenomenal movie. Great Clint Eastwood directed movie. Sean Penn, Tim Robbins, both freaking incredible in it. They both won, too. They both won Academy Awards, Best Actor, Best Supporting. Tells you just how good that movie is. Another upgrades, I had the third one, needed to finish off the collection. That is Night at the Museum, Night at the Museum 2. The first one, I love the first one. I don't really care for the second or third one that much. They're fine, but they're not very rewatchable. I won't go back and watch them too many times. Another upgrade, No Strings Attached. This is a solid romantic comedy. Not too amazing, but not terrible either. Another upgrade, I had the other two, so obviously I had to finish off the collection. That is Olympus Has Fallen. This really good action movie. It's hilarious that we've got a trilogy of these movies and they're making a fourth one that just goes to show the power of Gerard Butler. Really good movie that I didn't see in theaters, missed out on, but I watched as soon as I picked it up on 4K. That was an awesome war movie, is Overlord. This movie is the shit. Wyatt Russell probably is the biggest name in it, so check this out. This movie is really freaking good. Next one is the 6-movie collection of Paranormal Activity. I only ever saw the third one in theaters on a date, and I hated it. Haven't seen any of the other ones, but I figured this was only like $11, $12, so I figured I should pick it up to watch the rest of them, because I assume it's probably only a matter of time before another one comes out. Another upgrade, The Patriot. Can't go wrong with this movie. This movie might be historically inaccurate, but goddamn if it isn't a fucking awesome time. It's a great movie, so you should watch it. Patriot Games, we talked about Clear and Present Danger before. This is another Jack Ryan adventure. Next movie on the docket is a movie that Blind picked up. It's all right. It wasn't the greatest. Had to watch it twice because I fell asleep the first time, but that wasn't the movie's fault. It was the marijuana. and that is The Peacemaker. It's an alright George Clooney, Nicole Kidman movie early in their careers, but it's solid. Another great political thriller on the docket, The Pelican Brief, Denzel Washington, Julia Roberts. This was an upgrade. This is a really good movie. You should check it out. Another upgrade to go along with the Madagascar movies, Penguins of Madagascar. It's a cute movie. I saw it in theaters. It was entertaining. Great, solid zombie movie. Not as good as the first one, but definitely entertaining. That is Peninsula. This is a Korean movie. They really make the best movies out right now. Everything they do is freaking phenomenal. Another upgrade, Phone Booth. It's a solid thriller. Nothing too exciting, but not terrible either. And last but not least, in this pile is the 4-movie collection for Predator. Comes with Predator, Predator 2, Predators, and The Predator. Don't mind my dog crying from the other room. She's just a little bitch. We've got 3 piles left. We're almost there. This was another blind buy because I'm trying to get a lot more of John Carpenter's movies that I haven't seen, and that is Prince of Darkness. I've yet to watch this one, but it looks awesome, so I'm pumped to check that out. This was a pickup that I got for Heather because she loves these movies. That is the 2-pack of Princess Diaries and The Princess Diaries 2. It was for like $8 at Walmart, so picked that up for her. Then I got this sweet steelbook of Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. I love that both this and the birds in the back have like Alfred Hitchcock's silhouette along with like a scene from the movie. This is a really cool steelbook. I love Psycho. It's a really great movie. It looked great on 4K. Another upgrade, Public Enemies, Johnny Depp, Christian Bale, Marion Cotillard. Can't go wrong. It was a really good movie. Actually, we were talking about Michael Mann before. This is a solid Michael Mann movie. This is one of the few ones he's done since Collateral that wasn't shit. So good for him. We got the 4-movie pack of The Purge. I had never seen these movies in theaters. I always skipped out on them. Bought this because the Forever Purge is coming out in July, and I figured I should watch the other 4 before I see that one, since I'm finally getting back into horror movies. I mean, this isn't really a horror movie. It's more like thrillers at times, but they're all right. I've watched the first 2 so far. First one was okay. Anarchy was pretty cool. I still got the other 2 left to watch. Another upgrade, Puss in Boots. It's a solid movie. I picked up this sweet steelbook for Quantum of Solace. This is probably one of the crappier James Bond movies, but I still liked it. I saw it in theaters. I liked it a lot. It's not as bad as Spectre, so there's that. Then I got this amazing steelbook. My second favorite movie of the year, this year so far, is Raya and the Last Dragon. That's freaking incredible front cover there. It's got the dragon on the back. This movie is really awesome. Much better than I expected it to be. I like this a lot. You should check this out. It's probably on Disney Plus for free by now, I would imagine. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's doing amazing at the theaters right now, too. It's one of those movies that's just quietly making a lot of money. So that's good. Another upgrade, Real Steel, Hugh Jackman. I still have yet to watch this movie, but I definitely want to get to it. Rock'em Sock'em Robots, baby. Gonna do it. Another upgrade, The Replacements. Great football comedy, Keanu Reeves. How can you go wrong? This is just such a freaking good movie. Yeah, I freaking love this movie. So good. Shane Falco, baby. Then we picked up the Rush Hour trilogy in Blu-ray. Great trilogy. Love the first 2. Third one, I haven't seen since I saw it in theaters, but I remember it being pretty funny. You know, right? I probably have to rewatch it again, but I do remember liking it. Another upgrade, Safe House. It's a solid thriller. Then we've got, to finish off this pile, to show just how psycho I am with buying sweet covers, I got Saw Steelbook in 4K. Has this awesome artwork on it. That's like, I love this freaking artwork right here. It looks so sick. But before I picked up this Steelbook, which I didn't know existed, I had originally just picked up this 4K slipcover version of it that has this awesome artwork on the front and the back. And then when I saw the Steelbook, I was like, you know what? We're going to double dip. And we did it. But even before I picked up this one, I had gotten the complete Saw collection, which has all of the Saw movies plus Jigsaw. So I have 3 versions of the first Saw movie. And if you think I'm going to keep all 3 of them, you're goddamn right I am. Another epic steelbook, Shrek. Can't go wrong with Shrek. Beware the Ogre. This is obviously one of the best animated movies of all time. Fucking love Shrek. Another upgrade, Shutter Island to 4K. I freaking love this movie. I haven't seen it in a while though, so I gotta rewatch it. Me and Heather keep meaning to rewatch it, and then we haven't yet. But we're gonna get there. Another awesome pickup, Smokey and the Bandit. This was supposed to not come out until June, but I actually was at my Walmart like in the middle of May, so picked it up. Then we got another upgrade, Snake Eyes. It's a great Nicolas Cage movie. David Coep writing. He wrote Jurassic Park and a whole bunch of other awesome movies. He was like the 90s go-to guy for blockbuster action. Pickup for Heather, Something Borrowed. It's an alright romantic comedy. Now, once again, double pickup. I had originally gotten this awesome Speed slipcover 4K because I love this movie. And then I found the other day this awesome steelbook of Speed. So obviously had to pick that up as well. So now I have 2 Speeds. And if you think I'm going to keep both of them, you're goddamn right I am. Then I picked up the Kelvin timeline of the Star Trek trilogy. These are solid movies. I like the first one. I love the third one. Second one's okay. Although I haven't seen the second one since I saw it in theaters, so I should probably give that whole trilogy another rewatch because I haven't watched them in a while. Another great steelbook, The Sting. Love this movie. This is a movie from like the 60s or 70s. Paul Newman, Robert Redford. Really awesome con man movie. I saw it in high school for the first time, and I loved it ever since I saw it. Another upgrade, The Sum of All Fears. This is another Jack Ryan movie. Yeah, but this time we got Ben Affleck in the role. Not nearly as good as Harrison Ford or John Krasinski, but he's pretty good in it. Another epic steelbook that I was so happy when they announced this was coming out is Super 8. This is probably my favorite J.J. Abrams movie. Is his version of doing E.T. This is a really good movie. It's got that sweet art cover on the back. I love this movie. It looks amazing in 4K also. A movie I picked up because my brother told me was really good is Synchronic. And he was right. It's a pretty solid movie. It's got a really awesome concept. This idea that there's a type of drug that lets you, like it unravels time in a sense. It's a really good fucking movie. So you should check that one out. I believe it's on Netflix also if you don't like buying movies. Another upgrade, Talladega Nights. Where can you go wrong? Another upgrade, Ted. Had Ted 2, needed the first one. 4K, 10 Commandments. Oh boy, that just went sliding out. Look at how loose this cover is. That just comes sliding right out. 10 Commandments, one of the fucking most epic movies of all time. It is an astonishing 231 minutes long, but this movie is so good. My dad showed it to me when I was young. It would be on TV, I think around like sometime around the holidays it would always play. And we watched it, and it is freaking awesome. It's a really good movie. Then I picked up this awesome lenticular of Schwarzenegger double feature, which is Terminator 2 and Total Recall. It also has this sweet steelbook inside, which has the Total Recall side and Terminator 2. It's a shame that this was only on Blu-ray. I was kind of hoping it would be 4K version. Even though I have Total Recall on 4K, I'd need Terminator 2 on 4K. So that would have been perfect, but I guess I'm going to have to double dip again. And then I picked up the director's cut of Terminator Salvation, which was one of the few Terminator movies that I still had left to get on Blu-ray/4K. So we got that. On to the final pile. Another upgrade, There's Something About Mary. Great comedy, really funny from Peter and Bobby Farley. Love There's Something About Mary. This was another blind buy because I was, again, trying to pick up John Carpenter movies. They Live. This movie was really over the top and silly. Loved the concept. Feel like they could have done a little bit more with it, but I still really enjoyed this movie. This is one of the few movies that I think this might do well with a remake or even just a sequel. Make another one of these. I think it could either be really good or really bad depending on how they use CGI, because this worked really well with the practical effects. So I would hate to see them do another one and then just go complete CGI, because that would probably ruin it. A great steelbook, Top Gun, baby. Can never go wrong with some Tom Cruise. This movie is amazing. I'm holding off on watching it until right before Top Gun Maverick comes out, so that way I can do like a sweet double feature. I'm so excited for the next Top Gun. Tom Cruise, one of my favorite actors, so it's really awesome. I talked about it before, but I got 4K Total Recall because it's one of my favorite Schwarzenegger movies. I picked this one up first before they released that double feature one, but even still, wanted this in 4K because it looks absolutely awesome. Picked up The Town. Picked this one up. This was an upgrade, thankfully, so I didn't really pay anything, even though it has a price code on it. It was credit. Although I picked this up before I realized that there is a sweet 4K version of The Town, so I'm probably going to have to sell this one and get the 4K because I love it. The Town is one of my favorite movies, and I would look awesome in 4K. And then I got the Steelbook of Toy Story 2 and 3. These were the only ones that were in my Best Buy. I still have to get the first one because I have the Steelbook for Toy Story 4 as well. So if I can get the first one, that would help not only finish off Toy Story, but also put me on to completing the Pixar ones too. But look at these Steelbooks. They're so sick. I love these movies. Toy Story 3, obviously, is the best one. Then probably the first one, then the fourth one, then the second one for me. Second one is probably my least favorite, but that's like, it's still amazing. It's just the least amazing out of all of the amazing ones for me. Picked this one up because it was like $1. Transcendence. I remember this getting absolutely butchered in reviews. So the fact that I was able to pick it up for $1, I went with it so that I could watch it and see how absolutely terrible it is. So we'll find out. Another upgrade, Troy, the director's cut. I fucking love this movie. It's one of my favorite sword and sandal movies. If you don't like Troy, I don't like you. It's as simple as that. Finishing off with the Pixar haul for right now is Up. This is a really awesome steelbook too. The grape on the back. It just, freaking love this movie. This is just a really phenomenal movie. Another upgrade, Up in the Air, George Clooney, Vera Farmiga. I'll watch anything with Vera Farmiga in it. I freaking love her. Another upgrade, but for 4K, V for Vendetta. I haven't watched this movie in ages, so now that I got it in 4K, I'm definitely going to have to give it a rewatch. I haven't done it yet, but it is on the list. I'm excited to rewatch that movie. Another really great Tom Cruise movie that I was so happy I was able to find in Steelbook, War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise. This movie is, with the exception of how it ends, this movie is freaking phenomenal. Look at that sick cover art right there. I love this movie. This is the 2/3 of this movie is freaking incredible. Another upgrade, The Watch. It's a solid comedy. It's another great steelbook that I couldn't believe I found, Waterworld. This has a director's cut that's like 3 hours. Got some Smeat on the back. Fucking Mariner right there, baby. I love Kevin Costner. Even movies that people have hated on of his, I fucking love. Like this one gets shit on all the time, but I love Waterworld. The Postman gets shit on all the time, but I love The Postman too, even if it is like over 3 hours. Really good fucking movie. Another upgrade, We Were Soldiers. It's a good Mel Gibson war movie. Another upgrade, Wedding Crashers, original version and uncorked. Where can you go wrong? This is one of the best comedies. I fucking love Vince Vaughn. This is my favorite Vince Vaughn movie because he is just an absolute lunatic in this movie. We're finishing it off with upgrades. Another upgrade, What Happens in Vegas. It's a really good romantic comedy. My dad loves this movie. Heather loves this movie. I don't love it, but I do think it is a lot of fun. And then last of the pickups for May. I had the other two. I don't have Dark Phoenix, but I needed the first one. Is X-Men First Class. I love this movie. This is my favorite of all of the X-Men movies. It is really awesome. I've never been the biggest fan of the X-Men movies. They all range from like absolute dog shit to okay to really good. This is the really good one. I like this movie a lot. So that's that. And we are finally done. That was an epic amount of movies. I don't even want to know how many it was that I bought. I'd say about half of them were upgrades, so they didn't really cost me anything. But I probably still did spend a decent amount on the rest. But that is May. I can't wait to see what June brings. If you stuck it out this far, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. For those of you that enjoyed this movie, those of you that enjoyed this movie, Now, for those of you that enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. Hit that like button so that it helps me with this algorithm so I can get more eyes on these videos. Drop a like down there. Let me know what movies of these you've seen, if you own any of them, what you like, what you don't like, all that good stuff. Whatever you want to comment, let's hear it. And as a thank you for you guys for checking these out, a lot of these movies, when you buy them, come with free digital codes for you to get these movies online. For those of you that don't like to collect movies but do want to have movies to watch, I have got the surprise for you. This is to redeem digital codes for Lara Croft Tomb Raider and Lara Croft Tomb Raider The Cradle of Life. So this is a thank you for you guys for sticking around in this video. Those are your 2 codes for that movie. It only works once, so first come, first serve. And then if you got it, make sure that you write down in the comments section that you grabbed it so everybody knows not to waste their time. So from all of us here at The Outpost, I appreciate you guys watching again. I will see you for the next video. And until next time, adventure on.